What's up, guys? This is Miles here with Sisendo Sports, and you know what happened. Anthony Davis is going to the Los Angeles Lakers to play with LeBron James and chase a championship, and right now they are the favorites in Vegas. In this video, I'm going to let you know what I think is the best option for the Lakers moving forward in this free agency period, because it will make or break what happens this season, definitely in the playoffs. So we're going to go ahead and start on that. Of course, they traded away Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart. So we're just talking about players in this video. So those are three key players that played a lot of minutes this year. And now looking at the roster, we have LeBron, Kyle Kuzma, Isaac Bonga, and Mortiz Wagner are on the roster for next year. And for the sake of this video, we're going to be moving them to the inactive part of the roster. They won't be on our active 12-man team, but they'll still be on the 15-man squad, if you even know what that means. But and we know Rondo, Caldwell Pope, Mike Muscala, Lance Stevenson, Reggie Bullock, Tyson JaVale, they're all on one-year deals, so they would have to be re-signed. But now I'm going to dive into my reasoning behind the roster I'm going to choose. We all just saw what happened in the playoffs. The Warriors, of course, have like 3 of the top 10 players in the league, and then another all-star with Draymond Green, but they were really affected by injuries, and their depth showed that they were pretty top heavy. Besides Iguodala and Quinn Cook, they didn't really have any bench players give them anything in this series. DeMarcus Cousins, he was on the bench, but I don't really consider him a bench player. But you know what I mean. If you watch the series, these injuries really hurt him. And Max Kellerman just tweeted that should they go after Kyrie Irving or 2 to 3 good veteran players. And in this video, I'm going to be going after more veteran players, and I'm going to give a reasoning behind all of them and why they'll work in this system perfectly. So first off, of course, there are the Kyries and the Kawhis and the Kevin Durants and the Klay Thompsons in free agency this year. Really top players in the NBA. Then we also have our lower tier free agents such as Jimmy Butler, Kemba Walker, Tobias Harris, Vukovic, Valanciunas. Is literally a loaded class. But my fear is that if they go after one more star, you're going to have a really bad all-around roster, just because you don't have enough cap space to bring in good veteran players if you go after a third star such as Kemba or Kyrie. And if one of those guys get hurt, or 2 of them, then it's just LeBron and Cleveland when Kyrie and Kevin were hurt all over again. So we're going to re-sign one guy, and that's going to be JaVale McGee. He played outstanding this year on the defensive side when it came to blocking shots. Not so good straight up defending, but still played really good for the value of his contract. Played 75 games, averaging 12 points and almost 8 rebounds. We're going to keep him. Now, our probably most expensive signing is going to be DeAndre Jordan. He's increased his free throw percentage. He's a walking double-double and a very efficient player all around. 19 PER last year, played 69 games, didn't have really any major injury problems. He's going to be our biggest signing. Now looking at JJ Redick, there's a reason I believe the Lakers will be able to sign him. This year, he didn't shoot as well as he usually does from three-point line, but played 76 games, very durable, very experienced. And if the 76ers end up signing Tobias Harris or Jimmy Butler to a max deal, they're not going to have much left over, and JJ Redick's probably going to be looking to a 2 to 3 year deal worth a decent amount of money. So I think the Lakers have a good chance of getting him. Now the third player the Lakers should go after is Ricky Rubio. The Utah Jazz have informed him that they are not making him a priority in free agency. Now, he's not a great shooter, but he can hit open shots. He's a good playmaker, and he can kind of take the load off LeBron. He's also been in the playoffs before and beat Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook guarding him, dropped a triple-double on him, so he will be a nice addition. The fourth player that the Lakers should pursue is Nikola Mirotic. Now, he is a guy that can stretch the floor, play the 4 and the 5. He might be one of the more expensive players that he'll have to take a little bit of a pay cut, but he'll work great with LeBron and AD. Next is Carmelo Anthony. Of course, this is my man. He needs to go to the Lakers. He needs to play with LeBron, and he needs to get a chip. He can also call ISOs, take the load off LeBron, and come off the bench. I think he'd be a really good scorer, even if he might not like that role. You can throw him in the starting lineup sometimes. Now, the sixth guy they should sign is Terrence Ross, who played 81 games this year, shooting 87% from the free throw line. Now, they would have to get this guy to steal, but I believe he'd rather play for a winning team and get recognition than be a loser in Orlando. And then lastly, they should go after J.R. Smith, who didn't really play at all this year because the Cavs couldn't find the trade that they wanted for him, and they wouldn't just straight up let him go. But they should pick up JR. He's experienced with both Melo and LeBron, so of course they should pick him up. So they'll have a starting lineup of Ricky Rubio, JJ Redick, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and DeAndre Jordan, with Terrence Ross coming off the bench, Josh Hart coming off the bench, J.R. Smith, Melo, Kyle Kuzma, Mirotic, and then JaVale McGee. So all around, this is going to be a pretty deep roster, a lot of experienced players. Again, the only two players on this roster that aren't going to be experienced are going to be Josh Hart and Kyle Kuzma. I mean, the rest of these guys are like seasoned vets, and you can get Melo and JR for pretty much veteran minimums this year, so you won't have to worry about that. JaVale McGee also pretty close to a veteran minimum, I assume. So the more expensive players are going to be DeAndre Jordan, JJ Redick, and Terrence Ross. Now, DeAndre Jordan, he played in Los Angeles before, so I believe they could sign him in, get him to take a little discount to come back to LA, and definitely to play for a team that has a chance to win a championship. A lot of these players on this list, not only are they veterans, but they haven't won before. So, of course, DeAndre Jordan and Ricky Rubio and Mirotic and Melo and Terrence Ross would take pay cuts to be relevant and have a long-lasting legacy. Ricky Rubio, he gets paid like $14 million, or he was getting paid $14 million this past season. He'll have to take a decent pay cut, which I think he would rather take a pay cut and play with LeBron and a winning organization this year and compete for a title than just go take like a $20 million deal at like Phoenix or Chicago. Mirotic, he got traded to the Bucks this year from the Pelicans, and then ended up getting knocked out and actually got benched. I don't know if you watched Eastern Conference Finals, but he started at the beginning of the series and then got benched later in the series and didn't get much playtime at all. So he might be a little ticked off about that. And the Bucks have a lot of cap issues already. They're going to have to re-sign Chris Middleton and Malcolm Brogdon this summer. So Mirotic and Brook Lopez. So Mirotic is probably not even in their top three when it comes to priorities. I think this veteran team would definitely give LeBron his greatest chance of winning the title this year, instead of just signing Kemba Walker and then a whole bunch of bums, or bringing back the same roster from this year, re-signing Caldwell Pope and Rondo and Lance Stevenson and Tyson Chandler. I just don't think that would work at all. That'd probably be terrible. So let me know what you think in the comments about this roster, and would they be able to dethrone injured Golden State Warriors, which I'm pretty sure of course they would, and about Portland and a possible Bucks coming back and where Kawhi will land. So there's a lot that goes into this, and let me know what you think. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.